Hello and welcome all back to Election Time News. Today is Monday, July 28th, 2025. We're going to be looking at the gubernatorial elections in the United States today, which are going to be both Virginia and New Jersey, both of which have term-limited incumbents. Election Time News, your one-stop for all things elections and politics, from summations to poll reviews and news. Subscribe below for more content like this about American, Canadian, and Australian elections. Also, make sure to follow the Substack, Threads, Instagram, and X. More information on all of this is on all of those. Remember, there's never a dull moment in politics. So now, in the video today, we have the two elections that are coming up later this year. November 4th is coming up quickly. And so we're going to be looking at those. It's already just over 3 months away. So now we're looking at these two races. As of right now, both of them are all. There, it doesn't matter that even if Democrats win both of them, the Republicans will still hold a majority of governorships as they managed to secure enough in 2024. The only way that could have been possible is if New Hampshire had gone blue or some other state, which would actually have been even less likely. But so now we're looking at the 2021 results was the last time that these two states were up. Ignore California. That was a recall election that Gavin Newsom beat by 23.7 points. Virginia, Glenn Youngkin did a somewhat of an upset, defeating former Governor Terry McAuliffe. And so this is interesting in Virginia because you cannot hold consecutive terms in Virginia. So that's an interesting thing of note there. But then in New Jersey, you had Chris Murphy only winning re-election versus Jack Ciattarelli by 3.2%. Now, the interesting thing about Ciattarelli is that he is actually winning, has won the nomination again, and is now running against Mikey Sherrill. So, what we're looking at here first is the overall state of the country, especially these two states. Amongst all adults in New Jersey, Donald Trump has a 20.7 point disapproval rating, and in Virginia, 9.9. Amongst 2024 voters, they have opposite reactions. Virginia's get worse to 11.3, and New Jersey gets better to 10.5. Nationwide, he has disapproved by 15 points. And this is actually the worst of any president at this point in time in their term, which is actually even worse than his first term. So now we have some more statistics. The direction of the country, minus 12.5. We also have, that's just the latest polls in general. So there's a lot of discontent nationwide, especially in these two states. And what we saw from 4 years ago, especially in Virginia, but also especially in New Jersey, where Murphy had a much harder time, and also Ciattarelli was endorsed by Trump, is that the president has a lot, who is president has a lot of say in who could end up winning these races, and it appears to be helping to benefit the Democrats very strongly this time. These are old result guesses from a while back. If we look now at the results in Virginia so far, we have current. I believe that's not the Attorney General. If we look at both pages, it is the current, the Lieutenant Governor, Winsome Earl Sears. And now, whoever actually ends up winning, Virginia will have its first female governor. But what we're looking at now is quite a bit of every single predictor has it lean or tilt or even likely for a race to the White House, which is generally a bit strong for Democrats. But as of right now, just even based off of fundraising advantages, Spanberger has $11 million on hand, opposed to Earl Sears only having $4 million. So quite a bit of a fundraising advantage. Not to mention just the polls as well. There's quite a bit more over here actually than there are on RCP, but either way, it does show that she's ahead by 7.5. But the more recent ones have her up by a lot. These two very recent ones up by 17 and up by 12 seem a bit far, but still at this point in time. Another one by Roanoke College had her up by 15. Another one by VCU had her up by 10. So most likely it's probably going to end up being 8 to 9 points or so as of right now, which is going to be a relatively strong showout, around 8.8%. is this guess here. The county map for Virginia is quite a bit of a flip from where it was. It looks a bit more like a presidential map, except a bit leftward shifted. If we look at the map, and of course there's not going to be separate margins because it's Wikipedia, but you can see there's not as much blue. Over in this area, it's not as dense. Down in the southeast is especially what you can tell. Virginia Beach, and the two secluded counties over here are swing counties. This is a swing congressional district in and of itself, currently held by a Republican. That is definitely up for grabs in November 2026. Make sure to watch my House video on that. This area over here, Montgomery, Roanoke. So there's a few other areas over there that can be seen that is relatively strong there. So it was a relatively narrow victory, though, but as far as numbers go, it was about 64,000 votes, 1.9%, just under 2 points. But Chris Murphy won re-election by more than that. So if we go to the overall map as of right now, based on the 5 scale, it's probably going to be close to, I'm going to just put it in likely as of right now, just over 8 points, because most of these polls, generally, now with Republicans tending to be the more low propensity voters. We saw this in 2024 especially, where they weren't the ones that were showing out, but then Democrats surprised in the midterms in 2022 is where we're going to most likely be seeing Democrat overperformance until another presidential cycle. And that might even not hold up now that Donald Trump is out of the picture. So we have Spanberger up by 7.5 in the polling average. I expect it's going to be a bit higher than that, considering these two are relatively recent. But this one also does have 1,000 registered voters. Spanberger only up by 1, but that was also a very, very long time ago. The most recent one is still only in July. I'm hoping we'll be able to get some more soon. But 12-point lead is pretty strong, and so we're going to be, that's going to be an interesting race to watch. But so is New Jersey, where this one actually is going to be relatively critical. There really hasn't been any polls done that are shown on here, but I'm not sure about on here, though. Yeah, RCP is a bit strict on which ones they show. This is a bit more of a full picture. So New Jersey was at 6.7. We look at the county map. It's expected to be quite a bit better than Chris Murphy's victory. We do see a bit of an underperformance in Morris County. That was actually a very hard right trending county, and I think that while there could be some movement back, I really don't think it's going to be enough. Morris County shifted 7 points to the right, and Donald Trump did win it by 2.7 points. Chris Murphy lost it. And Joe Biden flipped it from Trump in 2016 in the first place. It was a left-trending county. As you can see, it was very, very red for a while, even while New Jersey was kind of swingy and then officially went into the Democratic column. And then it actually shifted very hard to the left in 2016. Left for Biden. So it is, in theory, actually a left-trending county. But Cumberland County most likely will stay red, though, because you have, it was very, very red for Citarelli last time against Chris Murphy. So there's going to be some of that background support. But in general, it's going to be somewhat close to Biden's victory, except potentially a flip from Hunterdon there. That's probably going to be a bit redder. I'm going to have to look into the exact numbers, get a better look at it, because Jackson 2 doesn't show the county maps for the gubernatorial races. It just opens up Wikipedia, which has different color scaling. So with all that, though, let's look at the polling. We again then have not close to as much, but Cheryl's winning by 5 in the most recent poll that was done at the end of June. And so 11% undecided, though. That's most likely going to go a little bit more towards Democrats. As I've said, it does typically go a bit more for the party that typically wins on the presidential level. Signal had her winning by 7. Rutgers Eagleton had her winning by 20, but 18% undecided. Try to push some undecideds, I guess. Right here, I'm not with voters who lean towards a given candidate. 56-35. That was almost a perfectly even split, but then true undecideds are 9%. National Research had her leading by 3. So with all of that combined, is probably going to be close to around a 7 point victory or so. That's probably a bit of an underestimation. She continues to do relatively well with the polling. So most likely it's going to end up being by a bit more than that. So it's going to be just under a likely margin there. It's going to be lean. That is going to be a flip in Virginia, though. And things could continue going well for Cheryl. It depends on, of course, the messaging and stuff. I'm not sure about the fundraising advantage for her, though. If we look, I don't think there we have. Cedar Rally has 1.2 million. Oh, okay. Primary finance activity through May 27th. So it doesn't actually show anything by that whatsoever. But we do have a lot of endorsements for both. Cedar Rally actually doesn't have that many. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that Trump actually did officially endorse him at some point. And he generally does align himself with the it wasn't post. So yeah. You look at endorsements for Cedar Rally, Donald Trump. So there we go. Okay, so that was just post-primary endorsements. But you actually have a lot of post-primary endorsements, especially from Democrats, because it was actually a relatively competitive season, except for as far as okay, except for as far as fundraising goes. She definitely did have a much larger fundraising engine, and compared to everyone else, if we can get down to the fundraising, she definitely had quite a bit more. Actually, Gottheimer had a bit more than her, but she was second place. It was relatively competitive all the way through. Then she did end up winning, so she was able to then coalesce a lot of support, though, which was a relative concern for a lot of Democrats being able to go into this. But now we look and we're seeing that the polling, she has won every single one of them. So most likely, the Democrats are going to be able to flip New Jersey as well, with Mikey Sherrill being elected, and both of them will likely elect women as governors. So that is all for today's video. It's relatively short comparatively, but thank you again all so much for watching today's video, and have a fantastic rest of your day.